What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Cat Life here, bringing you another Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel video, and I just want to say thank you for all the support. If you're new to the stream, if you're new to the content, please do not forget to go ahead and subscribe. If you have been watching the content and you notice that you're not subscribed, just go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It does help me, and it helps you be able to keep up with the content that I put out, because I do put out content every day, and I put out a lot. I put out some in mornings and then some at nights, so double uploads. You know, it's a lot of content. But anyways, Cal, what are we playing today? Well, we are playing some Dark Magicians with Dark Phoenix Enforcer. Now, I really do love a Dark Magician variant builds. I always found Dark Magician to be my favorite out of the Blue Eyes and the Red Eyes cards. So I just want to go ahead and point that out. But just so you guys know, this deck is super viable. I think it can compete. So far, I've been able to climb up to Plat with it on this account. So I just want to let you guys know that. So what are we running? We're running 2 Dark Magicians, 1 Effect Veiler, 3 Magician Souls, 3 Magician's Rod, 2 Ash Blossoms, 1 Celestial, 1 Magician Girl, and then 1 Dasher. And then as far as spells, we're running 3 Upstarts, 1 Terraforming, 2 Fusion Destinies, 2 Secret Village, 3 Chicken Games, 1 Magician Salvation, 2 Dark Magical Circles, 2 Super Polys, 1 Burning Magic, 2 Called by the Graves, 3 Soul Servants, 1 Secrets of Dark Magic, 3 Infinite Infinite, and then finally 3 Skill Drains and 2 Eternal Souls. So that is what we are running. Now, as far as extra decks, we are running Starving Venom Fusion, 1 Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, 1 the Dark Magicians, 1 DPE, 1 Predaplan Trifie Overtum, 1 Link Spider, 1 I'm Duck, 1 Link Karibo, 1 Christ on Hulk, 1 Mac, 1 Verte, 1 Blacklisted Soldier, 1 Celine, 1 Apollosa, and then finally 1 Access Code Talker. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to see more Dark Magician builds that I could have in the future, let me know. Please, let's try to go ahead and get this video up to about 15 likes. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so on our first match, we are going to start off first. No, actually starting off second, I'm sorry. He immediately ends his turn, so I activate our Terraforming so I can go ahead and grab myself a Chicken Game. Chicken Game does 3 different effects. By paying 1,000, you can go ahead and draw a card, destroy the card, or give your opponent life points. I decided to draw a card. Then from there, I can go ahead and activate my Magician Souls, which is, it's going to let me go ahead and send a Dark Magician card to the graveyard, like spellcaster level 6 or higher, and then I could go ahead and special summon it as long as I send the Magician Souls to the grave as well. So I decided to do that, and I get us off a Dark Magician Girl, which then I go ahead and put basically 4 cards face down. Now I did mess up because I usually go ahead and get Dark Magician himself, but I took Dark Magician Girl by accident. But anyways, it is our turn. I go ahead and attack, and he just puts 1 card face down. Now I'm able to go ahead and activate Soul Servant on our turn, so we can go ahead and get ourselves a Dark Magician into our hand. By getting Dark Magician, I summon out a Dark Magician now with Eternal Soul, and I go ahead and attack. And I notice that he is playing a Aroma Jar. Now, I chose not to activate Dark Burning Magic just because I wanted to go ahead and save it just in case he had any spells and traps. Because Dark Burning Magic is basically a way for me to destroy every card in the field. But then I see that he's going to be summoning out his Lone Fire Blossom, and I want to be able to stop that. So I just activate it. He puts 1 card face down. I go ahead and grab ourselves on our draw Fusion Destiny. I activate its effect to get off a DPE, and he goes ahead and crits. And so it's on to the next one. But as you can see, the deck seems to be very consistent. But yeah, let's go on to the next one. All right, so in our second video, as you can see, we have 0 monsters in our hand, but it's okay because we have Chicken Game. We're gonna activate it, then we're gonna activate our second Chicken Game to draw another card, which we draw a Dark Burning Magic. I then decided to activate Upstart Goblin. He now decides to Ash Blossom us, but I have a Called by the Grave in our hand, which we're going to go ahead and activate to go ahead and negate that effect. That way we can draw our card by giving him 1,000 life points. So I don't know why he would want to stop this. He does get 1,000 life points, but either way, we do get ourselves a Dark Magician, which I am able to then use Terraforming to activate Magician Salvation. Magician Salvation then puts Eternal Soul onto our field, and I throw down a Dark Magical Circle. And the next card that we're able to take is a Dark Magical Circle, so I throw down a Dark Burning Magic just in case. I probably should have kept that in the hand. But anyways, we see our opponent is actually a mirror match, so he's playing Dark Magicians as well, which is actually pretty interesting because his name is Trickster, so it makes sense, right? I was hoping he would play some trickies, but he didn't. But anyways, we use Eternal Soul to go ahead and summon our Dark Magician from our hand, which then allows us to activate Dark Magic Circle. He, however, uses his Secrets of Dark Magic to go ahead and make the Dark Magicians, which stops him from being able to get banished. So what I decided to do is we just take the damage as we can't do anything. So now that it's our turn, I decide it's time to go ahead and activate Eternal Soul. Eternal Soul then summons out our Dark Magician, which now we're able to go ahead and banish his card. So he does get a free draw off of this, but it's a small price to pay for his Dark Magicians being banished. So with that, I'm able to go ahead and attack directly for 2,500. And the reason I'm not activating Secret Village of Spellcasters is because he's played Spellcasters, so he'll just be able to easily get this going regardless, right? So I decided to go into Link Spider. The reason I went into Link Spider is because I want to be able to summon our Dark Magician from our grave with Eternal Soul. That way we can get it banished. And since I know he just played Eternal Soul, I'm going to go ahead and banish that card. He then activates a Sword of Revealing Light, which is going to stop us for 3 turns, which I'm not too mad about. But we do draw into another Secret Village, which does suck. So I summon out the I'm Duck. From I'm Duck, I'm going to go into the Predaplant Verte Anaconda, which is going to allow us now to go ahead and toss out Fusion Destiny into the grave, which we can now go ahead and get off a DPE. So my decision here was, do I go ahead and stop his Sword of Revealing Light, or do I stop the face down? I decided to go for the face down, which is going to then lead to us bringing back DPE on his standby phase. And on top of that, now because our Dark Magician is in the graveyard again, I could go ahead and banish his other card. He decides to summon out Magician's Rod, right? So with Magician's Rod, I know he's going to bring out a card to his hand, which is going to be the Dark Magical Circle. Because of that, he's going to go ahead and play a card face down and then activate his Dark Magical Circle. So now that I know what it is, I plan to now summon out our Eternal Soul, which is then going to go ahead and help us in which card to banish, because now I can go ahead and use my Dark Magical Circle so I can go ahead and banish 1 card on his field. I decided to go ahead and banish his Dark Magical Circle so he wouldn't be able to banish us. Now that it's our turn, our DP does come back. We do get an Upstart Goblin. We know in his hand is a Chaos form, which isn't going to help him. I decided to get rid of Verte, which then we get rid of the Magician Navigation. We draw into the Infinite Impermanence, and then I decided to go ahead and activate Secret Village. Now I'm going to go ahead and attack him. I'm going to go ahead and destroy his Sword of Revealing Light, activate our effect, and going to go ahead and end the turn. Now it is our turn, so I decided to bring back Destiny Hero Enforcer again. He gets off a Maxi, but to be honest, we have no reason to go ahead and summon. So I decided to just go ahead and attack for 2,500, and we end our turn. So far we have stopped any of his Magician plays, which does suck for him because we were able to get off our combo first. He's just going to go ahead and end turn. So it is our turn. We draw into a Dark Magician Girl. We activate Dash's ability to summon her. So now we get a free Dark Magician Girl off for free. I decided to attack, and then I decided to go ahead and attack again, and we decide to end game. So another good showing from Dark Magician. Dark Magician seems really strong, especially if you get off their combos early. Once you get the combos off, you're pretty set, to be honest with you. Well, all right, let's get into the next one. All right, so on this match, we are actually going first again, and we start off with only a Fusion Destiny. So I decided to go ahead and activate that as we can't really do too much else. So we do get a DPE off onto the field, and we're gonna go ahead and play 2 cards face down, our Skill Drain and our Call by the Grave. Now, I noticed that he is playing a True Draco because he has no extra deck, and I actually mess up. So I never knew what this card did until now because it's the first time I seen it. But basically, I can't activate any effects, right? Like literally, monsters cannot activate effects, and I'm talking about in your hand or on the field. So before he got sent onto the field, I should have been able to go ahead and pop DPE and destroy him, but I didn't pay attention. So now I can't use our DPE, and unless I use skill drain to go ahead and stop it. Now I didn't know that our effects wouldn't work for hand either until he decides to go ahead and summon out his Ignis, and then from Ignis he destroys our Call by the Grave and then activates a card of Demise. So I was like, oh, I'll just go ahead and Ash Blossom that, but then I found out I could not Ash Blossom it, right? So now I'm forced to go ahead and activate our skill drain early, which isn't too bad for true Dracos as they thrive off of skill drain, but luckily DPE's ability pops into the graveyard so we can summon him back. He then decides to go ahead and bring back his Amano to the hand, which we're able to go ahead and stop. So now he still couldn't activate his effects regardless. We draw into a Dark Magician girl, so I am able to summon it thanks to Destiny Hero Dasher, and then I can bring back our DPE to the field. I go ahead and play one card face down. I attack both monsters to go ahead and destroy them, which brings us down to only him having 2 cards onto the field. He then decides to go ahead and draw, and then from there he activates his True Draco Heritage, which I'm not sure why, but I guess it was a dead draw. I then go ahead and draw into a Soul Servant, activate Soul Servant to go ahead and toss, to basically go ahead and activate to bring a card to our hand, which is going to bring out the Magician Souls. I activate Magician Souls now to toss Dark Magician into the grave. From there, I can go ahead and summon out a Dark Magician, and then I'm able to go ahead and summon out Ash Blossom. That way I could go ahead and activate Destiny Hero Celestial's ability. I activate Dark Burning Magic. He does destroy our trap card, which is fine because we're just able to attack. And to be honest, I was thinking of using Ash Blossom to go into a 3k beater, but because of the fact that he destroyed Eternal Soul, I can't bring Dark Magician back, so I decided to hold off against it. And so now he's going to draw, and he just goes ahead and scoops because there's nothing he can do. There's no card in his deck that would have been able to save him, unfortunately. So all right, so for our last match, we are actually going to be going second. So unfortunately, we didn't pull any of our Dark Magician cards that we would need, but we did at least get a Secret Village, which would have been useful if we did get a Spellcaster, right? But too bad we don't. So we go ahead and activate Infinite Impermanence. We are able to stop his Supreme King. He didn't activates Chicken Game. He gets 1 free card. Activates Dragon Pit. From Dragon Pit, he's going to go ahead and summon out the Heavy Metaphosy Electromite. This card is super annoying when it comes to Pendulums because it could just like destroy a card, then add a Pendulum monster into his hand. So there he goes ahead and adds in the 04 Dragon Magician to go ahead and get off a Supreme King Dragon. And then from there, he destroys a card so he can go ahead and get a Supreme King back to his hand from his Pendulum. Extra deck zone, right? So now it's our turn. The only thing we can do, I try to activate Upstart Goblin to see if we can draw something useful. Unfortunately, we don't. So I just immediately go into Fusion Destiny. He does activate this card, which he's going to try to destroy our card, right? Which is fine because it doesn't cancel out the negation. So with him doing that, we still get 2 cards into graveyard. We can get off our DPE, which is going to be a lifesaver for us. He activates Heavy Metaphors to go ahead and destroy one of his cards. Activate DPE to go ahead and destroy a card. So I destroy his trap card, get rid of that. He goes and adds a card to his hand. I place 3 cards face down, 1 being Super Poly, Call of Grave, and Eternal Soul. I probably shouldn't have placed the Eternal Soul down yet, but I decided to. I summon out the DPE. He activates the Supreme King to go ahead and try to take our effect, right? I decided to activate it so we can cancel that. He then activates Heavy Metaphors. Heavy Metaphors is once again going to be able to destroy a card, and that way he can add a card to his hand. He activates Into the Void so he can draw 1 card since he has 3 cards in his hand. Now with him summoning a second Dark Monster, I decided it's time to activate Super Poly. We toss out our Secret Village, and that way we're able to make a Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. So this card is going to now target his heavy metal foes, giving us 1800 of an attack increase, which is going to super help us, as now we are able to stay alive. He's then going to go ahead and activate a Supreme King Gate, which he gets destroyed, to go ahead and bring out the Dragon Pit. Dragon Pit is now going to come. Now he can go ahead and Pendulum Summon 2 cards, which is Supreme Gate and the Performer Pole, which is going to then destroy his 1 card, which is now going to go ahead and bring another card to his hand. So as you can see, pendulums are still doing their thing. He then destroys 2 cards to bring out a Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. I haven't seen this card in so long. Now he has a zone of 0 and 8, and then he decides to go ahead and use our monsters to summon Underworld Goddess, which is actually super smart, because if he did destroy our Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, we would destroy all special summon monsters, and all his cards have been special summoned, so it's smart for him to link it off. Anyways, he gets out his he gets off his Underworld. I summon out our DPE, and I place Infinite Impermanence down so we can go ahead and draw 2 cards. We do get ourselves a Upstart Goblin, and from Upstart we get ourselves a Dark Magician, which is huge. We then uses Magician Souls to toss out our Dark Magician in the grave. That way I can go ahead and activate Eternal Souls, so we can now summon our Dark Magician from the grave without Underworld Goddess affecting it. So it was a nice little chain that I did. Then Magician Souls does get negated, but it doesn't destroy, because Underworld doesn't destroy, it only negates. I get rid of 2 cards, summon out the Soul we end up drawing into Soul Servant. Use Soul Servant's ability. That way I can go ahead and reveal a card. I get the Secrets of Dark Magic. From there, I'm going to go ahead and summon out the Dark Magicians. That way, anytime a spell or trap card is activated, I can go ahead and draw a free card off of it. And if it's a spell, I can set it. So, I activate DPE, I destroy a card. Now, he couldn't activate his Underworld Goddess to negate this, because he had already activated before. But if he didn't, then we would have been in trouble. But anyways, he activates the Dragon Shrine, which allows us to draw into a card, and it happens to be our Dark Magical Circle. We are now going to go ahead and get negated by the Underworld Goddess, but the reason I did that was because I wanted to bring out a Dark Magician onto our field. So I probably should have waited, but I didn't want the Dark Magicians to get destroyed for no reason. So now we have 2 Dark Magicians on the field. Our DP, however, is destroyed. He then decides to change his mind and attack into our Dark Magician. Not really sure why. I feel like the Dark Magicians would have been the better choice to attack into. Anyways, we top deck into a Fusion Destiny, which doesn't help us anymore. But we do get the Magician Circle, which allows us to get off a Soul Servant. I then rearrange it so we can grab ourselves a Chicken Game. I activate the Chicken Game. We are now allowed to draw 1 card, which is the card I send back to our deck, being the Dark Magician. Dark Magician. That way, Eternal Soul, I figured wouldn't get canceled, but because they consider it to be special summoning anyways from a graveyard, it still does negate it, which is unfortunate. But I decided now to go ahead and tribute both my monsters so I can banish off the Underworld Goddess. I can then go ahead and attack. I played the Secret Village. Secret Village is going to really hurt him, as pendulums are considered to be spells, so he can't activate any of those cards as long as I have a spellcaster on the field. And now thanks to that, I could go ahead and summon out Dark Magician, which is going to allow us to banish his card, which happened to be a Duels Alliance. So this would have been super annoying if he was able to play it, but he wasn't, thanks to our Secret Village. I summon out the Ash Blossom because I know he has nothing in his hand or on the field to stop this. Now I'm going to go ahead and immediately summon out Selene. Selene is going to get a massive amount of spell counters. I get rid of 3, that way I could summon out the Dark Magicians. Then from there, I activate Eternal Soul. Eternal Soul then summons out our Dark Magician, which banishes his card. And because we activate a spell, we can now draw a card as well. We happen to draw into a field spell known as Magician Salvation, but it's honestly useless as of right now. And I don't want to lose the Secret Village, right? So he summons out 1 card. I activate Selene, which was going to allow us to summon out another spellcaster. And he just decides to go ahead and scoop. But guys, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. This Dark Magician deck is super fun. Let me know if you guys love Dark Magician as much as I do, because if you do, I appreciate you. Anyways, Cal signing out. See ya.